Thanks for joining us here on the Bowling Green Today Show, and I'm Caleb Chevalier, joined in studio today by Charles Jones with Arrow Exterminators. And Charles, today we're talking about pests associated with pets. Can you give me a few ideas of, well, what kind of pests are we talking about today, for one?
All right. We want to talk about fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes. Those pests are associated with pets, but also they cause some hazards to us as humans and pet owners.
That's right. There's not only, health hazards with the pets, but they pose a problem to us as well. And it's that kind of time of year again we're starting to see the sort of populations of these pests increase. And you've noted that we actually have some infestations going on here in South Central Kentucky.
That's correct. Out at job sites, we're already finding ticks on our service professionals right here in Bowling Green, in the Bowling Green area.
And they do pose a hazard to us as well, even though they may be found on your pets. It's just as much of a problem for us, and that's why today you've come to talk about 5 tips for prevention from these pests and the diseases that they carry. Can you give me some details about these tips you've brought with you?
Yes, these are 5 easy-to-follow tips that the viewers can do themselves and help prevent an infestation of these. Number one thing that we need to do, or the viewers need to do, is do a quick visual walk around or inspection of their property, looking for harborages where these pests could be hiding. They like to hide in, piles of brush, piles of leaves or debris, those type of areas. We need to look at those. Also, we need to keep our yards mowed about 3 to 4 inches high, mowing weekly. And of course, our landscape areas are prime areas that these pests like to congregate at. If we would look at those, keep those trimmed up neatly, and then replace that mulch with a hardscape like stone, lava rock, that type deal. That doesn't hold moisture and it's not rotting organic matter.
That's right. And bathing and grooming is a very essential step as well, isn't it, Charles?
Yes, sir. On our pets, of course, we want to bathe and groom them regularly. And also, we want to inspect them for ticks and fleas and other things like that. A good area to look at is behind the ears and on their backs where they can't actually reach themselves to get those pests off of them. Another thing that we need to do to be proactive is to make a trip to the veterinarian for our veterinarian to recommend some preventive products that we can apply to our pets. We recommend the veterinarian because products that work on dogs is a lot of times can be poisonous to cats. So we want to make sure that we get a recommendation for the veterinarian, veterinarian.
And these are the kind of pests that, especially if we have pets at home, they will bring those indoors from time to time. And that's why you make certain to have steps done in the home to cleaning preventative measures, including vacuuming and stuff like that.
That's correct. We want to vacuum weekly minimum, and also vacuum the hard surfaces like the laminate flooring, the tile, those type areas. As we vacuum, and when we complete vacuum, I should say, is we want to take that dust cup, empty it in a sealed plastic container, then take that dust outside and dispose of it in the outside receptacle.
That's right, because we don't want those critters getting out. And speaking of outside, when we are outside, and you were saying you were encountering some of these pests on the job site, how should one dress to protect themselves from getting these on them?
Well, when we're outside, we need to, like you said, dress properly, especially if we're going to be removing those harborage areas that we talked about in step 1. We want to be sure to wear long-sleeve shirts, gloves, long pants, and tuck those pants inside your boots and make it harder for the pests to get to your skin. Also, light-colored clothing will be a plus because you can actually see the pest because a lot of them are darker colors.
And if someone at home thinks that they have an infestation, whether it be from fleas or ticks or the other pests that we talked about today, they need to seek professional help from an exterminator like you.
That's correct. I'd say it'd be proactive, and of course, step number 5, we recommend that you treat the yard of your home. I know a lot of people just use the backyard, but you need to treat the side, the yard, and the front yard to make a barrier around your entire home. Even if you're not having a problem, we highly recommend you get that done as a preventive method. Now, keep in mind that if you do just 1 or 2 of these steps, you're not going to get the results that you would if you do all 5.
Absolutely. And so again, we're talking about the pests associated with pets. And Charles, I want to thank you for bringing in these tips that we can all use and apply to our lives to help keep us pest-free. Thank you for coming in today,
Well, thank you. And if they need more information, they can go to the Aero Exterminators website, which is 3wsaeroexterminators.com.
All right, tremendous. Again, Charles Jones with Aero Exterminators today joining us in studio. And we will be right back with more after this. Let's take a look at your weather headlines again for today. We do